Hello everybody, welcome to the MacMost Daily Vlog.
Are we up yet?
And are we happy to be here today? We didn't think there'd be a daily vlog today. Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm going to talk about reliance on communications. So an interesting thing happened overnight. Our router went down. Now we have basically a single
little
router.
tendril of smoke went up in the middle of the night.
It did. We have one line called a T1 line that comes into the Clever Media offices here, the MacMost Clever Media / MacMost offices, and that line basically carries all of our the T1000. Isn't that?
T1000.
Isn't that?
Yeah. That's the Terminator.
There was a T1000 in the office. It killed like everybody.
Skynet went down.
Yeah. I hate it when that happens.
They rescued this one line.
Yeah. So anyway, so we were without phones and internet.
Because our phones come in.
T1. T1 carries both voice and
VoIP. Yeah.
Anyway, so we had everything down. So like, it didn't realize how much we rely on this stuff. I mean, obviously, of course, our phone lines were down, and of course, the interesting thing about having to call customer support when your phone's down. But of course, we have cell phones. That took care of that. But then, couldn't get our emails. Voicemail. Well, the phones wouldn't ring, and the voicemail goes to email, which we couldn't get our email for our voicemail, so
right.
that was confusing. And then,
good thing I had some video to edit.
Yeah. And then,
is the internet running? I want to cook my lunch.
Yeah, it couldn't microwave anything. And then on top of that,
yeah, we've got a USB connected microwave.
Yeah, exactly. So that sucked. And then at the Attic Bookstore, which of course is on the ground floor of the Clever Media Tower here. Their lines are with ours, and they didn't have phones, internet, and they ship orders on the internet. I mean, it's holiday time, so they get their orders in over the internet. Even if they could get them in some other way, like find out what they were, they couldn't actually process the postage without a connection to the internet. And they couldn't complete the shipping, check off that the item was being shipped, and do all that stuff. So there was no way for them to complete orders. And to make it worse, then customers started walking in, and how do customers pay for things now? It's not with cash, with credit cards. And there's no communications line out, so they couldn't process credit cards, so they lost all these sales. So it's incredible, like, how much everything stopped. Even I was working on a game that just yesterday I wired to a database on the internet, so I couldn't actually work on the game without taking it down and localizing it, which I don't want to do. So I went to another game, and I realized that was also wired up to a database on the internet. I was like completely...
And just think of the irony of here's a bookstore that's shipping information that can't ship information unless it has connectivity to...
My iPhone provided rudimentary, provided telecommunications.
And to be able to call up the internet provider.
Yeah. And of course, it allowed me to look at my email. Unfortunately, the voicemail system, it saves it as a very extremely compressed WAV file with a weird codec that works fine on Macs, but for some reason or another it does not work on the iPhone. So I can't actually listen to my voicemail, but I can see who called. And I was able to check my email. And so that helped a little bit, but I couldn't really get any work done because there was no way for me to tether the iPhone and use that connection with my laptop.
And there would not have been a MacMost Daily Vlog had there not been our...
Had they not come out and fixed it about 1:15, we were back up, and it's now 3 o'clock. So, so yeah.
And another interesting thing, we're posting some new tutorials up at MacMost.com.
New set of tutorials.
And one of them is how to make a desktop widget of the Daily Vlog. So you can watch the Daily Vlog as a desktop widget, updated on your computer every day.
And these new tutorials are hosted by the ever-popular Molly Stanbury.
Yes. So
you're going to want to see that. And you got a couple. You got one on Gmail and one on Mail Preferences.
That's correct. So yep. And they're nice. They're slick.
New tutorials, and we're going to be pumping those tutorials out pretty often now.
Yeah.
As part of it, we also got a lot of reviews of things coming up on the MacMost Video Podcast next week. So we keep pumping out the content as long as you keep watching it.
Yep. That sounds great. And go to MacMost.com. There's blog postings and all kinds of good fun stuff.
when we have internet, we can actually do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've got to do a blog post this afternoon too.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
tomorrow. Yeah, I mean,
Well, that sounds good, and then hopefully this new router will hold, and we'll be back again this time tomorrow with the next edition.
if we feed